Question 6 says Jim and Jane work together to paint a house and will finish their work in 8 hours. If Jim would finish the work alone in 12 hours, how long would Jane take to finish the job if she would work alone? So for this question, let's say that T equals time in hours. It takes Jane to paint the house on her own. Okay, so we've been told that Jim would finish the work alone in 12 hours. So that means that Jim, working on his own, can paint 1/12 of the house per hour. So then he would finish in 12 hours. For Jane, we don't know how long it would take her to finish, but we know that her speed can be represented by 1/t of the house per hour, because then she'd finish the entire house in t number of hours. And we've been told that together they finish the work in 8 hours. So together they paint 1/8 of the house per hour. So it'd take them 8 hours to finish. Okay, so we can come up with an equation to relate these terms. We know that if they can paint the house together in 8 hours, then Jim painting the house, or 1/12 of the house per hour, plus Jane painting the house, so 1/t, equals 1/8, or them working together. And it's important to notice that we have a restriction on t. This equation, t has to be greater than 0, so we don't have a 0 on the bottom of this fraction here. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is solve for t. And to do that, we need to find the least common multiple of the denominators in this question. So 12, t, and 8. And that ends up being 24t, because 12 goes into 24 2 times, 8 goes into 24 3 times, and t, of course, goes into 24t once. So that's going to simplify this for us. And so what we want to do is multiply both sides of our equation by 24t. And I'm just going to split this up here. So we have 24t times 1/12 plus 24t times 1/t equals 1/8 times 24t. Okay, so if we look at this first term, this simplifies. 12 goes into 24 2 times. So we have 2 times t times 1, so that's just 2t. For this term, t goes into 24t once, so the t's cancel out. We have 24 times 1, so just 24. In this term, 8 goes into 24 3 times, so it simplifies to 3. We have 3 times t times 1, so just 3t. Okay, so I'm going to combine like terms and subtract 2t from both sides of my equation, which gives me 24 equals 3t minus 2t is just 1t. So we have 24 equals t, which means that we said t is our time in hours for Jane to paint the house on her own. So t equals 24 hours, and Jane would take 24 hours to finish alone. Okay, so that's the answer to question 6.